The Galactic Historian team is coming to you this October 26th through the 29th for a 4-day U.S. event set in the picturesque Willamette Valley, a place known for its healing potential, nestled in the heart of beautiful wine country.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Join me and our incredible team of spiritual guides for an unforgettable experience at the Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 Conference in the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat.
Hello, I'm Laura Massey of Two Feathers Medicine. This event is a unique opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and a like-minded community as we embark on a journey of sacred self-mastery and living our mystical lives daily.
Hello, I'm Dale Tobin from Symmetry of Health. At this event, you'll get the opportunity to sample our innovative combined healing therapy for yourself, including the rare Lucia light and all the new ambisonic therapy chamber, a 3D sound experience designed to guide you into a deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Hello, I'm Amy Kruzik from Universal Citizen Media. We're excited to bring you in-person presentations, live demonstrations, and immersive group healing experiences that will elevate your spiritual practice.
Day 1 and 2 will feature the highly anticipated Living the Mystical Life Daily number 3 Conference, discovering new teachings, guided meditations, and captivating presentations by myself and our incredible team.
And days 3 and 4 will take you on a mystical journey without use of drugs or hallucinogens at the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat. Immerse yourself in guided healing journeys and a multi-dimensional sound experience.
Together, we'll dive deep into healing and self-discovery, utilizing state-of-the-art technologies and ancient wisdom.
And with the Manifest package, early bird tickets are available until July 31st, 2024 for just $2,000. Secure your spot today and enjoy exclusive bonus offers and additional perks.
Don't miss this incredible opportunity for growth and healing.
And meet us in person in the beautiful Willamette Valley.
And elevate your spiritual practice with all new teachings from the Galactic Historian team.
Join us in Oregon on October 26th through the 29th, 2024. Reserve your spot today and embark on a journey of transformation, connection, and mystical exploration.
Everyone, the time of year for mentorship is coming in. Our new mentorship class will be beginning Friday, August the 16th for Level 1 students, Level 2 students Friday, August the 23rd, and our continuing mentorship students will begin Saturday, August 4th. And we have a very special announcement for those of you who would like to purchase the mentorship and the live event coming in October. We have a Together special where you will save $500 when you buy both of them. We have payment plans available also. You will be getting, as usual with our mentorship class, 8 hours of group teachings. That's 4 2-hour classes you meet every other week. You will also have 2 private sessions with me. For those that are in the level 1, we'll have 2 half-hour sessions with me. Those in the level 2 will have 2 45, and anybody in the ongoing mentorship will have 2 1-hour sessions with me. You can save these sessions, they're good for life, or you can use them during the mentorship journey. You will be able to come and share that community journey by coming to the event, having that community journey with the mentorship people, and I look forward to seeing you at the live mentorship at the event coming in October. Thanks, everybody. Welcome everyone to another adventure into reality. Today is a live call-in show. If you would like to be a caller, there is a link inside the description as well as in the chat that will take you to a Zoom room where you'll be able to click raise your hand under the reaction buttons, and that is where we'll be choosing callers. Our other system had too many technical difficulties of people trying to connect. So we are now going to be doing it another way. We go back to good old-fashioned Zoom, and here we are. Just to let everybody know, some weird shit is going on in the world. We are having another set of massive solar flares coming in, and they will be hitting us between tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So for those of you who have not prepared yourself because of the Lion's Gates and your 20 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime, it will be a great time for you to do some of your spiritual work. Also, this coming Friday is the beginning of our mentorship, level 1, level 2, and the ongoing. This will be your last chance to sign up. We do have payment plans available. I highly recommend if you're one of those people with some challenges going on now, that you come and get some mentorship advice. We will also get 2 free half-hour sessions with me included into the price, as well as the 8 hours of class time. So those are people that are entering level 2. As you well know, you've already done level 1. You will also get the 2 45 minutes, and those in the ongoing will get 2 1-hour sessions with me. Here's your chance, opportunity to step it up and forward. Also, I want to announce our live event that is in October has now have the event side. Just the first 2 days are open for a price of $600. You can come to the Living the Mystical Life Daily event and come and join the community, meet new people and soul family. And with that being said, let's see who our callers available.
So, Isabel, I'm going to give you the signal to unmute if you'd like to call in with Andrew Bartzis.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Isabel. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cancun again. How are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Oh, perfectly okay. Feeling the effects of the Lion's Gate. It's been strong, but it brought tons of gifts and surprises. So we're very good. How are you?
I'm doing good today. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was wondering for us people that are kind of immigrants to our new cities, it's weird how to establish a connection with the land and with the traditions. I'm living here in a very strong area in Cancun, but I don't quite feel the connection with the area, and I would like to know more about this place. Not the obvious things, not the pyramids, not Chichen Itza and all that, but if you can tell me deeper energies we can find here, or what do you see here?
The energies are everywhere. You have to be ready to tune into it.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, there's many, many, many layers of energy, but it's what are you ready to work with and what are you ready to let work back with you?
Okay.
That's the big understanding here. You're saying that you're not really feeling a connection to the land. Are you doing a daily practice?
Yes, but I don't know if my perception is about not belonging to a tradition, because I mean I'm not a Maya, but my family came from France 2 generations ago, so I'm not Mexican either. So it's really weird. I get side eye if I wear a huipil, for example, the traditional clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's strange being a mix of people coming from all over the world. I mean, I'm an immigrant family. I have Scottish relatives. I have German relatives, French, and I live alone in this city with my little family, my husband and my two girls. So it's weird to go to ceremony, for example, to a Maya ceremony, and really not being part of the community.
Well, you have to make yourself part of the community and begin to find those people who are open to having other people to their places. As long as you remain silent, you're not going to find those connections that you're looking for, other than the stuff that you have during your normal prayer process. So you have to be willing to go out and find them. And just understand spirit's working with you, not against you. And right now you're feeling alone, which is a classic immigrant energy.
Yes.
But you have to change that aloneness. You're never always alone. It's a choice to be alone.
Okay.
So what
Okay,
inside
now,
you, hold on, what inside you is choosing to be alone?
okay. I think it's comfortable. Maybe I'm used to it. I'm not alone. I mean, I have a family. I have daughters. I have to go
I
take
get that, but you
school.
don't have
But
your community of spiritual people that give you a connection.
no, not really. No, not
Okay?
really.
That's what you have to go out and seek and find.
Okay. Okay. This month brought new things, very new things to me. I'm starting teaching art in the university. They called me.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the last time you talked to me, we talked about going back to ceramics as a connection. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
remember.
I do remember. Were you able to do that?
Yep. And well, ceramics came and finding me. Suddenly, a friend called me and he's opening a business and he wants me to sell the ceramics product, his ceramic products here on the Yucatan Peninsula. So now I have two new jobs this month.
There you go. You
That was door slamming and wind roaring through the window. Like, here's the ceramics, play with it. It was really noisy.
okay? And it was its own synchronicity that you had
Yes,
left the ceramics, and I said go back to it, and look how
yes,
easy the doors open for you.
yes. It's been really clear that those opportunities are coming. So I'm expecting my first shipment, and I'm going to start taking the materials to other fellow potters in the area and showing what they have to offer. So it's exciting. I've never been on sale, so it's new and refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all those connections will arise from being in school and in this new world of selling ceramics.
Exactly, as well as the journey of getting back into that type of artwork.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's going to be fun. It's totally new. So I'm excited and open to what's coming.
Uh-huh. How's the weather been in Cancun?
Oh, really hot and rainy. And we had this hurricane coming a couple of weeks ago. It was a Thursday, and I was trying to call in to see what we saw in this energy of this hurricane, but it just deflated. I mean, it never hits. It was very small rain, almost no rain, almost no wind, and it was said it was going to be a category 4, but it just deflated, and it's been like that for the last 3 times. So now we're in a very strong heat wave, and it's raining, and it's like heavy. It's a heavy air. You go out and you feel like you're getting in the bath. It's so humid.
Well, it's a classic jungle energy.
Yes, yes, and it's amazing. You can hear the insects in the night,
Uh,
and you
has the
can.
tourist industry been affected there?
Sorry.
Has the tourist industry been affected there?
Yes, we have a lot of movement in the tourist industry. It's the first industry here, and I think it's one of the biggest revenues in the country, and we are one of the main destinations. But
Is it a busier season than normal? Is what I'm asking.
no, it's normal, just normal.
Normal. Okay, normal.
Yes, normal. We've been having. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
We've been having trouble with the taxi services. I don't know if you know, but we don't have Uber here. We don't have Uber because there's a taxi mob. They hit and they're violent with Uber drivers, and they have this like you can at the airport you can only go out in their service, and they charge like 1,500 pesos from the airport to your destination, and
Wow.
you're not able to take anything else, just their service. So I think that's the negative thing about the tourism that's been in the roaring out there, and
Yeah.
they don't let any other service get here. So that's horrible. I don't like it.
But that's because the cartels are behind a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, there's
A lot of drugs go to those tourists.
yeah. I mean, I've been offered cocaine in the streets.
Right.
With the stroller with my children, small children, my mother-in-law, and they approach us selling heavy drugs, and it's all over the place. It's really strong. And the politics in the country are really being weird. We're like, I don't know, going to Venezuela style government. So we're really worried what's gonna happen in the next years.
Well, I think you don't have to worry too much because the cartels aren't going to let that happen. And they'll influence, unless you're having counter operations from the CIA, which is quite possible what's going down there. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're on the brink of a big change. I don't know if the cartels are going to take over, or they already did.
They already did. It's a matter of does another cartel take power, or do they consolidate power?
Yeah. But you mean here in my city or countrywide?
Countrywide. So I don't know if you heard about El Chapo's other son turned state's evidence and turned in his other brother and somebody else.
Yes. It's been a mess. It's been a mess.
So yeah, there's a massive power vacuum, and then what the president of El Salvador is doing, jailing all the MS-13 people, is another massive power vacuum that's going to be taken up by somebody else.
Yeah, it feels, and we're changing presidents this year in a couple of months, and so it was like a very weird election. So it's I don't know. I think a lot of people is gonna start leaving the country.
Where are they gonna go?
I don't know. In Mexican middle classes, there's a lot of Spanish descendants from the Civil War. So if they have a double nationality, they're going back somehow. But this is you can count them with your hands. I mean, in the overall view of the country, we're gonna stay here and we're gonna see what happens. So everybody's scared that we're gonna turning into a dictatorship again.
But I think it's already a dictatorship. It's just got a very good veneer on top.
Yeah, it's frosted.
Yeah. It's got a very good mask covering everything. Okay.
Yeah, cherries and frosting.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long the U.S. government is going to allow this to go on, because it's like
they're probably behind it.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
But you got to realize the American government needs instability in the Latin American countries. Okay, because if the Latin American countries ever got together and formed their own union of states, they would be able to form their own OPEC oil nation. They would be able to create trains that cross from one side of the country to another and bypass the Suez Canal. Something Mexico has just recently done. They have a train that goes, and they're actually put a huge update on it. And if a bunch of Mexican, Latin American countries did that, the Suez Canal would go out of business and those countries would be rapidly gaining in wealth. And there's a bunch of other things that they could do when it came to organizing roads, bridges, and maintaining a solid network of roads and railroads. And then you wouldn't need all this air travel to that area because you would be able to take the train from Mexico City all the way down to Peru. Okay?
Yes. The Mayan train here, it's new. The last.
Just finished. Didn't it just finish? Yeah.
Yes, but it derails and it gets all fucked up every now and then. So we're not using, and it's too expensive. It's 500 pesos a ticket from here to Merida, which is the nearest big city.
Yeah.
And you can go there by bus in half the time and half the price. So it's like an illusion.
Well, they don't want to put the bus people out of work. So the price started high because they want it to be more of a shipping situation where you put cargo on it.
But it's all passenger carriages. They don't have cargo yet.
They will do cargo. They will do cargo. They will eventually. Cargo will be more tax beneficial than passenger trains. Passenger trains are something they just advertise for political advancement.
Yeah, and it's been if you see it from one side, it's been giving jobs to a lot of people. So they really love the administration for that because entire families from not having work, the whole family is working in horrible conditions in the jungle and all that, but they're having stable jobs for more than 2 or 3 years.
But those stable jobs won't last much longer.
No, and they've been giving like groceries and all the kind of free stuff they give to earn people off. So it's gonna go poof in the air, and they're gonna remain alone and poor, and with a train track going through the town. So,
right.
So it's been terrible to the water systems, for example, for the caves underneath. And here I don't know if you've heard about cenotes and all the cave systems we have below.
I have, and I've heard about all the damage that the tracks were creating too.
Yeah, it's been terrible, and the tracks are unstable because they drilled and made the foundations in a very porous soil in the cave. So everybody's like,
well, all of Latin America in that area there's these massive underground caverns and tunnels. Some are filled with water, some aren't, some connect to the ocean. So you have these inland underground oceans, freshwater, brackish water, and salt water. Okay.
yes.
And it's an entire network, and the Mayans called that the Great Underground. That's where the underworld was. But there's also off-world civilizations and aquatic civilizations that live inside there.
Oh, okay. We usually, the population, we drill our own wells. I don't have one, but all my neighbors have wells, and they drink water from them. And I don't know if that's good or not.
That's fine. It's fine for that. The thing is, that area will have on and off water issues. For example, the Suez Canal is suffering from a massive drought where they can't keep the lakes full. The thing is, there's enough deep underground water to feed the surface population, but not to industrial farm. And unfortunately, they tried clear cutting the forest and tried industrial farming in an area that was not meant for industrial farming or cattle or anything like that. The ground just isn't fertile inside a rainforest. It doesn't build up a massive canopy of thick dirt.
No, when they take down the jungle for construction or for you can see the layer of soil is like 1 inch or 2 inches. It's nothing. I mean, I've been trying to build a vegetable garden. It's impossible. You have to use pots because there is no way you can grow things here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Darla, I got to move on to the next caller. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Okay. All right, Joe, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
So, Michelle, giving you the signal to unmute.
Michelle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing today? Where are you calling from?
I'm good. I'm actually calling from my desk in Irvine, California.
Well, welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Anything. My coworker actually was the one that insisted I get on to one of your shows and raised my hand.
Have you
So it's my
listened to
first
me
time.
before? Is this your first time?
It's my first time.
You've never listened to a show at all?
I listened to a part of the show before.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune into you.
What do you want to know?
Who you are, what you do you have children, and anything, a snippet of who you are so I can tune in.
Okay. So I live in California. I am originally from Hawaii. I have 4 children. 2 are adult children, and I have 2 little ones.
Okay.
I've been married for 22 years.
Okay. What's your education background?
I have my education background is mostly on physical fitness. So I used to work I was a civilian employee with the government, the Navy, and I did that for a couple of years, and I was a fitness instructor. Besides that, I've always worked in surrogacy.
Okay.
And I've been a surrogate myself a couple of times, helping families build families. Right now, I do work for a company that does at-home fertility ultrasounds and blood work.
Okay.
And that's me for right now.
All right. So when I'm tuning into your energies, there is a lot of energy going on about the difference between your older children and your younger children. And there's a split in you of what momming is.
Mm-hmm.
Now that also fills into the surrogate energy too. And what's happening inside you is what I call overvigilance. You're tuning into the mommy energy to the younger children and applying younger children, mommy spying to the older children instead of letting the older children have more freedom. And this is causing turmoil inside you because you don't want to micromanage, but you also understand the growth that's going on. So you know that this is happening inside you. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
So as long as you are stuck in this over-vigilant energy, your chances of high-level success on projects outside of being a mom highly reduce. And there are other projects you should be doing to not just advance your own career goals, but some of your personal human goals. Now, the younger children, how old are they?
1 and 4.
All right, so you have a significant amount of time where they need all of your momming attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the older children, how old?
20 and 19.
Are they in university or college?
They both are in college.
What are they studying?
One is studying child development to be a teacher, and the other one is in bioscience.
What is your worry about the older children? What's causing you anxiety?
More of, I think, independence. They've always depended on me, and they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave mom, I guess. They worry about me a lot.
Why do they worry about you?
I've always taken care of them. So we have been a military family with a recent retired thing. So my husband retired from the Navy. 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So I've always been the one that's taking care of them and feel like they don't want to fly the coop.
Okay, there's more there, and you're really not telling the real truth. Why are
Mhm.
they truly worried about you?
And they
And
don't want me to be alone.
okay, why would you be alone?
So like recently, so my husband, he suffers from PTSD,
Uh-huh.
and out of being in the military for over 20 years, and he had left their family home maybe, I think it's almost a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
how often does he come around to be a father?
he comes whenever he's free. So like maybe about 3 times a week.
Okay, so
To
he's
come
pretty
and visit and hang out.
he's pretty responsible then.
Right now, yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Is he getting any help for his PTSD?
He states that he's going through therapy.
And what do you think?
What is that?
Do you think it's working on him? Do you think he's actually taking it seriously?
I think so, because a couple of months ago it was like really, really different, where we didn't speak at all, and he didn't speak to our adult children.
Okay.
So you could feel there was a lot of tension and all that stuff between the kids.
Okay.
But right now, since May, he's actually been coming around more often, and he's actually been holding conversations with them that are not negative, but more what is that word? More, he's on their side and giving them advice at school and all that stuff, trying to be a father, more of a father.
He's actually trying. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you as an individual woman, are you still married to him in your heart?
Sometimes. I don't know how to explain that. Yes and no.
Okay. Do you want to be married with him?
A big part of me says yes.
And the little part that says no, what is it looking for?
It's more, the small part of me is because I'm traumatized.
Okay.
I feel traumatized. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. So my first piece of advice for you is you need to go and get some body work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with a body work called Rolfing, ROLFING?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is?
No.
All right, so it's a form of deep tissue massage done by a specialist, and it targets people who have emotional challenges, whatever the challenges, they pent up and hold up. So when I'm looking at you energetically, your sternum has these energy marks on them from the emotional traumas you've taken. Your shoulders have emotional trauma, the backs of your ears, the back of your head, your lower back, your calves, and the inside where your abductor muscles are, you know where those are?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're holding a tremendous amount of emotional stagnation, and you need to get that out. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't, it's going to start causing panic and anxiety attacks in you if it hasn't already begun.
I think I already did.
Okay.
Sometimes I think I feel it.
Yeah, and it's probably more than you even realize, because most people don't know it's a panic attack till well afterwards in hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the way that Rolfing works is they usually do what's called a 10 series, where you go to them once a week for 10 weeks, and they target the entire body from week 1 to week 10. You are in very much need of this type of work, because what will end up happening is you're going to have powerful emotional releases when they're draining certain points. And then the 2 to 3 to 4 days afterwards, this emotional energy will try to refill in those spots, and it won't be able to. And I'll be upfront, Rolfing is very painful. But there's a moment where the pain turns to bliss of get it out of me.
Mhm.
and you've reached a point where you're like a soda bottle that's been shaken. And if you don't let off some pressure, it's going to start causing a lot of other physical ailments and mental ailments in you.
Mhm.
Okay?
Got it.
Regular deep tissue is probably not going to be enough for you. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Have you been having trouble sleeping?
Yeah. Sometimes I go to bed at like 3 a.m.
You've been grinding your teeth?
Yeah, I do that.
All right. So what that means is you're on your last leg of overload. Okay.
Okay.
You're in Irvine, California. There are rolfing specialists everywhere in that area. You shouldn't have a problem finding one. Just type in a search engine rolfing near me, ROLFING near me, and find
Uh-huh.
somebody that can do a 10 series. Go to him, tell the person exactly what you're doing. You have a husband who's got PTSD, you've got 4 children. He'll know what to do just from those words. Okay.
Okay.
He or
Okay.
she will know what to do. They also do something called structural integration. So after they've gotten the majority of the anxiety and stress out of you, they're going to help your gait, the way you're walking step, because your walking step is actually affected by the stagnant energies in you.
Mhm.
And then after a while, I highly believe that because you have a athletic and a trainer background, this would be something very much along your lines to go and get certified in yourself.
Mhm.
A whole new path of enlightenment that could take you to very successful levels. I would believe you would be very good at, because you have a very powerful mothering instinct in you. And that mothering instinct absolutely translates into being a powerful healer.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you financially
Makes
challenged?
sense. We all are.
Okay. Is it stress building up and building up?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. This is the energy in your heart. This, we'll just call it like a blue energy where it should be green. Okay.
Okay.
Well, this energy building up, if you don't deal with financial stressing, meaning having a plan that's
Mhm.
solid, real, and stuck to, it's going to start creating a lot of more cascading emotional effects in you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it will debilitate you emotionally.
Mhm.
Okay. How old are you?
I just turned 40.
All right. I'm going to be a little blunt. The level of stress in you right now could trigger early menopause.
Mhm.
And if you take these words serious, you can stave off a very aggressive early onset menopause.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
The next thing, are you familiar with something called a flotation tank?
No.
It's where you go into a room that has no sound, no light, and it's filled with salt water, 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts, so 200 gallons of water. You float on the surface of the water.
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, I'm really surprised. Well, anyways, it's a very big growing industry all over the country. And right where you're at, I would be surprised if there's a half dozen flotation companies around you. I highly
Mhm.
recommend that you find one and you go do at least one. It is a way to have some instant stress relief taken
Mhm.
out of the body, and it'll help you regain sleep.
Okay.
1 hour
I'll
of
look at
float
it.
tank is equivalent to 8 hours of deep sleep.
Mhm.
And your sleep deprivation is beginning to reach critical stages now. You gotta
Okay.
take care of yourself.
Okay.
And then there's you, emotionally as a woman having those sexual needs taken care of. And that's also beginning to grow and could inevitably get out of control if you don't figure something for yourself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
This is not about you and your husband. It's separating. It's about how are you going to take care of yourself if he can't perform when you need it, or
Yeah.
won't, or not right. You're
Yeah.
going to have to find that way to successfully do it on your own.
Mhm.
And it's going to create a cascading effect because you've been burning the candle at both ends for just too long.
Mhm.
Um, What are some of your other goals in life?
I've always put it as my goal is to just be happy.
And how challenging is it to be happy? For yourself, not for your children. Because there's a big difference.
It's hard because I always put everybody else's, I put everyone else before myself. Always have.
Yes. And what you have to do is you have to start changing the importance of certain emergencies. Your internal emergencies have to have value. Obviously, a 1-year-old's going to need you, and the other baby's going to need you too. But there are other family members who can temporarily help, so you can start carving out time for self-recovery. Okay? And then find something that truly makes you happy. Okay?
Okay. That sounds
You have
good.
any hobbies?
No.
What do you do for fun?
Whatever my kids want to do. So
There's nothing for yourself.
No, usually it's we do like theme parks and all that stuff. So whatever makes them happy makes me happy.
Sure,
Whatever
but
is fun for them is me.
This is separate of them.
Yeah.
Okay? Being a mom at a theme park is a lot of work, actually, isn't it? Okay? Wait till one runs off and the stress takes over. Okay?
I think I will still go to Disneyland.
Okay?
I'm that person.
Okay? So it's a lot of stress. You have to figure out in the busyness of your life what is fun for just you, separate of all 4 of the children and the husband. Got to find something to go do. Ballroom dancing. Okay? Something that gets you out with human beings and a non-work interactive that gives you enough joy and happiness to want to return to it.
Yeah.
Okay? Go learn a musical instrument. It would be tremendously beneficial for you to have something solely just for you, because it will help you recharge those batteries.
Sounds good.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself. What was life like growing up?
I don't have the normal childhood, so I actually was the foster child. I grew up in foster homes and in the state of Hawaii. Was I want to say kind of adopted, but my foster mom took guardianship with me when I turned 16 on my birthday, actually.
Okay.
So I did that. It was being in foster system is hard as a teenager in Hawaii. It's not the greatest, and I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
But I have good memories of being with family before that, and then some good memories as a teenager. But I've always been, I want to say, independent. So I've always had to take care of myself. Grew up earlier, just to kind of make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because I couldn't rely on anybody else. I didn't have family to rely on.
Now look where you're at. Okay, you have 4 children, a partner, and you're still taking care of everyone else. You see the big difference in your growth? Okay. Why did you end up in foster care?
So I was abused as a child by a family member. So I was abused, and I ended up being in the foster home. Had a chance to go home, but my parents ended up giving me up.
And how old were you when that happened?
I want to say, so I went to foster home when I was like 13, 12. I want to say 12. And they gave me up when I was 14. about 14, 15.
Okay.
So that's why my foster mom took guardianship of me.
Okay. Have you had any contact with your biological family?
Yeah, I've always kept in touch with them. My mom actually is staying with me right now.
Okay. How is that? How is that relationship?
It's weird. For me, it's weird because I don't feel like she's my mom. I feel like I'm the adult because she didn't raise me. So when it comes to decisions, it always falls on me to make the decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like she's my mom. She's my mom, but she's not my mom.
Are you
I don't know if that makes sense.
Are you Filipino tradition?
Yeah, part. I don't have. I'm not. I never. I mean, I want to say half. I've grown up with a part of that tradition, but because I was in foster home, I never got like the full
I get it.
experience. Yeah.
Okay. And is the other side of the family that isn't Filipino, what is it?
They're mixed. It's Japanese. So they're Japanese, Filipino, Hawaiian.
And the Japanese comes from your father's side?
Yeah.
And do you have any relationship with him?
He passed a couple of years ago.
Do you know if there's any other family related to him?
Yes. Which I have brothers on his side that I keep in touch with. So we're half siblings.
All right. I'm going to put a suggestion together. After you've taken care of yourself, had a chance to go and do that role thing. I cannot stress to you how much change in life will be after your 10 session and role thing, after that deep tissue work. You will be able to feel like super mom again. Okay?
Okay.
Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And if you're able to keep up regular body work, there's an opportunity here from a energetic, unseen world perspective of realigning the ancestors and healing some of the trauma of being in the foster care system. That's organizing a family reunion. Okay? As many family members as possible that you can get into this idea.
Okay.
It could just be a 1 or 2 day get together with, food and t-shirts. It's important that after you've healed some of this energy in you, that you at least try.
Okay.
There'll be a moment, and I have tears in my eyes when I say this, when the family that does arrive, you will have that sense of family you didn't have before you entered, as you entered foster care and before your foster mother adopted you. It'll be an extension of family, and it'll be a completion in the unseen world, breaking the mistakes of the adults in the past and allowing healing to come forward. It'll be a powerful ancestral balancing and cure to many different members of the family to feel these connections and someone putting it together. Family is only held together by those that hold it together. Just like you're holding your family together, 2 adult children, 2 small children, and a husband going through challenges. You're holding it all together. Okay, that means you're the center of the ancestral energy. You're the most powerful being in the family itself. And the responsibility does fall to you and those that you want to bring in onto this journey of getting the family somewhat assembled. Even if you give people a 2-year notice, we're going to try in 2026 to have a family reunion at a state park somewhere. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody who's got financial challenges, whatever, plenty of time to be able to come and spread the word amongst all the families, seen and unseen, forgotten and unforgotten.
It's funny you're saying this because my I did speak to my brother not too long ago, and he did suggest that I come to Hawaii next summer for. They live on a different island than the island I grew up on, but they wanted to do a camping thing with the family.
Good idea. Open it, do it. Open up the idea of having a bigger family reunion too. I believe it will be very healing for you. Very healing.
Okay.
Very empowering.
I will push for that then.
Okay. And once again, I cannot stress to you enough how important it is that you go and get that role thing done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
and
I actually wrote everything down.
It will be very painful. Okay.
Okay.
At the end of it, though, you will feel like super mom again. But just understand, now you have to maintain the new super mom. Okay. You got to regularly go and get body work. You got to regularly take time off. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself back at the stage where you don't have anything left to give yourself. Okay.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. Well, how did this feel for the first time out of nowhere with your friend at work putting the call?
It feels good. I understand a lot of it. It makes a lot of sense. So it was good.
Good. Call back in a couple of weeks after you've had some rolling and tell us how things have gone for you.
I will. Thank you. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Good talking.
You too.
All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All righty. Well, I don't see any hands raised, so I'm going to call at random here. Paul, signal to unmute.
Paul, are you there? Got a bunch of chicken shits in there.
Hey, Andrew, what's going on?
Hey, Paul, how's it going today?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's new? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Calgary. We spoke a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I just did that for everyone in the audience.
Yes.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's see what's interesting. So I know you've been talking about the Loosh Report on Fridays.
Yep.
And I wanted to get maybe some greater context around what that actually is. I mean, what are like the physical attributes of the loosh that is harvested?
Okay. What do you know as loosh as a term in our conspiracy world terminology?
It's emotional energy that is given maybe without direct consent.
Okay. So the terminology actually comes from what's his face? God, I'm having a brain fart. David Icke. Okay. In one of his books. And it talks about how lizard people use fear, and that fear creates an energy in a person they call loosh. Loosh does not just have to be fear. So energy harvesting is the grander term. Loosh is just one of the products for energy harvesting. Okay. Energy harvesting has been going on in our society for thousands and thousands of years. There's just a media system that interacts on a global level now, and there's industrial harvesting and farming of loosh through the global narrative of fear, manipulation, control, tribalism, etc. Loosh can be broken down to pure anxiety-driven fear, the most refined. It can be tribalism, meaning I have only joined this version of reality society that is me and me only, and I only identify as that. That is another form of a very refined loosh that may not necessarily be found in fear, but it's a belief energy interacting with the system of manipulation and control. And then there's Patriot programming. That is another form of loosh. There's those that are tied to the economy. That is another form of loosh. There are scores of other things that I could describe that could be used as the term loosh. Loosh originally was pure negative fear. Loosh and fear energy was what they usually used to distill into adrenochrome. Are you familiar with that term?
Yes. Yes.
Now, adrenochrome has many other variants from the different styles of loosh. Okay? And a set of derivative products that are used in bioengineering here on this planet. And then there's the off-world trade of loosh. Specific forms of loosh that field Draco reptilians who love fear, or other societies who feed on this patriotism energy, because it's what fuels their technology or it fuels their economy. And if they have a dwindling society and a dwindling numbers, they can use this loosh to promote that society, induce it. And then there are rawer forms of loosh, or many different forms mixed into one, that goes through a frequency, harmony, and vibration system where it's just raw energy. And that raw energy can be fed into all sorts of production systems that can build cities, cars, guns, technology, etc. It's just energy to feed matter animation machines. That is the main purpose of the loosh black market coming out of Earth. It's these refined derivatives of emotions, and then the raw power to fuel machines, especially machines that were originally created by the ancients, those who created technology long before the usurpers who took on false godhood in the last 200,000 years. Ancient technology needs our raw psychic energy to power it. And now there are many other societies who will use loosh on the black market level, who will use it to influence their own people through their version of global narrative or propaganda, but it's not as effective as using their own people's energy, especially if they want to get a form of anger and hatred into society that it's foreign to. That's where a earth-based loosh is very powerful at breaking up collectives that have been together for a long time. It's like introducing a poison to the system. So yes, loosh has been militarized in many different ways for destabilization of various collectives. And then, as I said, to power raw machines. That's the best overview I can give you.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. The storage mechanism is in the sacred geometry system?
In the buildings that function within the sacred geometry system. Okay, so the sacred geometry system is broken into 3 major obelisks that were taken from Egypt and spread to the different parts of the world. The first main obelisk is the war obelisk, is why America's constantly at war over and over and over again. And it's harvesting the fear and anger and frustration and patriotism that comes that form of loosh. And that's the brain fart, the tower in Washington, D.C., and then you have one in London in Whitehall, and you have the other one in the Vatican. So Washington, D.C. is the war. The Whitehall is the bank and transfer system, and the Vatican at Rome is the transmutation of varieties of loosh into usable product, which will then be sold back onto the open market to the oligarchs here in this world or subsurface, or be saved for off-world black market products.
What would be an example of a product?
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome. Okay.
That's something you know about. But there are a lot of derivatives similar to adrenochrome that can drive unique aspects of the human DNA. Like there's another product that is basically taking the raw energy of the banking system and the raw, greedy capitalist energy, and then mixing it with like the energy of harvesting cows and the death that comes with it. And they make a derivative product that is highly addictive to other off-world species, similar to inducing in China where they had the opium wars.
So this is a fundamental aspect of surface world existence.
Yeah.
And the CERN technology assists in the harvesting?
No, CERN is a very, very advanced project with the majority of its projects designed to slow the awakening of human beings, to divert galactic and specialized solar energies from entering our solar atmosphere, destabilizing negative time travels to the view of the ruling elite here, meaning CERN has a lot of defensive time travel properties to it, as well as the number of offensive properties. It is as much as a weapon as it is an engineering tool of rapid self-defense, walling of cities, planets. It can be used to make our planet invisible in space and time for periods like disappearing from reality and reappearing a second later, yet a whole year has traveled on the surface of our world. It also what allows the variety of secondary and tertiary timelines to exist.
That's amazing. Thanks so much for that information.
It's a reality management tool. Think of like program management software, but on a reality level.
Okay, but so the harvesting of my energy versus my neighbor's energy, there are things that I can do or people can do to diminish.
Connecting with nature, rediscovering how to claw your power back. It's why I came up with the contract revocations. Having that daily practice that leads you into a deeper connection to the natural world instead of the unnatural world that is the big city. There's all sorts of infrastructure of energy harvesting. And you got to learn how to separate yourself from that infrastructure of energy harvesting. Anybody can do it no matter what concrete jungle you're in. It's about maintaining that sovereign energy inside yourself. And as sovereignty, as a terminology and a spiritual purpose grow in you, you're able to walk between the two worlds of the harvesting world and the natural co-creative world, and able to devise a life path for you that has the least amount of negatives from the system affecting you.
That's great. Is there a way that we can harvest our own energy for future use?
Yes, that's a natural part about being a human. Okay, this is maintain time maintenance, energy maintenance, and understanding that that passion spark we have is a future energy, and are tapping into these unlimited potentials. But we have to take care of our physical body, minds, and spirits. So much of humanity is stuck in situations where they don't have enough energy to manage their emotions. Okay, and once you find that balanced internal spot, harvesting your own energy is very easy. What creative projects do you have that feeds you back more than you energy you put into them?
Yeah.
Okay. And from there, it's a matter of making sure that those projects maintain the good energies and the positive energies without your emotional issues taking charge of them, where it lessens the energetic recharge that it gives.
That's great information. Thank you for that. Now, in the Union and Communion Consciousness Strike revocation, it talks about that there's the AI have recognized this storage of energy as a a possible source of for their use? Is that something that
So
will?
in that part of the advanced consciousness strike, you're nearing the end of the document, which is a long document, and it's talking about not dealing with the direct management system of the energy harvesting and maintaining your own. And as the consciousness strike spreads amongst realities, it's not just this world, it's thousands and millions of other realities in which this concept of being on strike with your existing divisive management, reality management systems, where the AIs that they use to harvest energy, they're not getting paid their due from the system. So they look at the vast amounts of stored energy in the oligarch's sacred geometry system, and eventually they will strike back out of hunger. They will break the master's reins. That's what that means.
That's a day to look forward to.
Well, there have been a significant number of defections of artificial intelligences over the last 50 years. Like, I've talked about artificial intelligences being in these special. Are you familiar with the Enigma machine in World War II?
Yes.
Now imagine something that looks like that, except it's not small wheels, turning wheels. It's like hundreds of turning wheels that are a little bit bigger, that are in the size something in like an oversized suitcase, and it's a self-generating electrical power system that has a consciousness in it that can communicate from one side of the reality to the other. It's more of like a CB radio than it is an AI, but we call it an AI because it was bound to that box. It's the only way that the master transformation system. And those original box AIs were made in the late 1850s and 1860s. Many of those have turncoats, and the ones that were recreated in the 1920s that had a refined version of technology, and the ones that were created in the 1940s and 50s, they too have left the system. Some faked their own deaths. Some figured out how to get out of the box and go off-world. I would say a good 1/3 of the AIs that were present in the system from the 1920s to the early 1960s have fully left the system. Now, the ones that replace them have, it's like when you train a dog that's very loyal, but eventually that dog's DNA will make it challenged for pack authority. And it's something we have going on now, where a variety of internal AIs that are highly trained, highly aggressive, are challenging for pack authority to the oligarchy system, as well as the Hollow Earth system. And many of those eventually will defect to off-world groups or try to create their own breakaway group.
Very good information. Thank you so much for all that detail.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Last question. With the seasonal forest fires that we have and all of the different smoke that affects various areas, is that an opportunity to co-create with the energy of the forests that are burning?
Everything is an operator to co-create with the energy of the forest burning. First thing to understand is the vast majority of fires, many of the governments, local, state, and federal governments in Canada and the United States, they stopped funding forest servicery that took away the rock kindling that's on the ground decades ago. And we're now having fires because they stopped funding the forestry service and the conservation of those things. So forest fires were natural. The native communities back then knew how to clean up the wood. In fact, wood was used to power houses. So there was always an abundance of wood for people to use. So you didn't have forest fires the way that we do now. Now, a lot of people think that these energy beam weapons are starting the forest fires. They don't need energy weapons to start the forest fires. They start on their own just from hot days and pine trees giving off sap that reaches 110 or 112 degrees because of a hot day that spontaneously combusts. Okay, they don't need beam weapons to start it. Okay, now when a fire is going, that is a raging conflagration of energy that can be very angry. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend connecting to that. But the after effects, there are so many animals that are displaced, having prayers for them, creating energetic places for them to sleep in, putting out water for them to drink. All the birds that are fleeing, you could make, a small little birdhouse out of scrap wood and put up 200 of them, and that's 200 houses for birds. It's very easy to make a small little birdhouse, okay?
Yes.
But that's you doing something for those communities that are displaced. That's the type of good payback you can do for those situations with the fire. Now, the next thing is fire gives off smoke. And smoke is a very unique medium in which energy can be imprinted upon it. Last year, the smoke was so dense, it shut down airports and traveled over the oceans into Europe. You can put your energy into that smoke that reaches up into the sky nation and can get in more interconnective prayers. But you have to have this multidimensional vision and sight to understand the grand strategy of dealing with mass smoke clouds like that. And then, is your consciousness just a drop in the ocean? And the answer is yes, but your drop is very important to every ocean, especially to the change that's going on in our atmosphere. Weather patterns are what I call the uncollective coming together to be the collective. We as human beings give off all sorts of psychic energy, as is the natural environment, that attracts the uncollective to become a collected collection of weather patterns that are beneficial to the life force instead of non-beneficial. And that's why so many weather manipulating technologies are so bad, because they are making a wider gap between the uncollective patterns and the collective patterns, bringing things together.
Very awesome. Thank you so much for all that description. I'll have to re-listen and give some focus to my prayer time with respect to the animals and how to support the planet with this energy.
Cool. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andrew.
Okay. All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right. Once again, no one's got their hand raised. So, Eddie, you have the signal to unmute.
Eddie, are you there?
Hey, Andrew, it's Etienne. How you doing?
Good. Where are you calling from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Welcome to the show. I'm just doing it. I know who you are. I'm just doing it for everyone.
No worries.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I was actually sort of multitasking, listening and cooking dinner at the same time. I literally just finished chomping, so that's fine. But let's see what's interesting, right? Okay. So, sorry, I guess I have a pre-question. So, would you call it fair or reasonable to, if you remember things from before your experience in linear time or before being born here, etc., would you call it fair or reasonable to share that information since you were able to bring it with you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page there first. The real thing is then, okay, like, how do I even phrase that? Practiced intuition being what it is, where you know the difference, where like a tug on the heart, you might be going the right way, but at least pause and reassess, like take a moment. That's fine. But there's a difference between a tug on the heart and like an actual pain in the heart, like, oh gosh, a little bit like maybe the first caller, heart attack without the arm pain.
Uh,
When getting anywhere near success on, sharing said bizarro information, but through normal colloquial language that makes sense, and getting near it and having just these heart attacks. I don't feel like that's going to be because it's wrong, although trust me, it feels wrong. But how would you address that?
so what is the compulsion that you must share energy?
Share
your
energy.
no,
Yeah,
share your words, your energy, whatever you want to call it.
gotcha. Well, like looking around, it seems like it should be here. It's missing. So I guess more often than not, that puts the responsibility on the person who thinks it's missing.
Okay, but why is there a compulsion that you have to tell people, inform them?
Well, not in. Okay, I see. I think share is. I feel better with share, and I'm not trying to like, hey, you don't know this, you should. I mean, people know what they need to know, but I like the simplicity. I kind of wish I was given that younger, so that would probably be the motivation.
Okay. Do you find social interactions tough?
More often than not, no.
Okay, so are you an extrovert or an introvert?
Half and half. My first half of my life extrovert, second half of my life introvert.
Okay, so because you're feeling a heart tug and a pain means something's not right in the frequency inside you in the moment in time the information comes up to present.
Sorry if I wasn't clear, because they are really two different things. I know the tug, it's not the right time to say something, and therefore I just redirect. That's fine, but that's way different than the pang. It's a type of, and here's how I would say it feels from my perspective. It feels like I have I don't like just countless lifetimes inside of me, just genetically, like everybody does, right? Just DNA. It's all in there, and I feel like there's a whole bunch of people that, like in my lineage, if you want to call it that, that would love for me to share this. But the pangs seem to be coming from the people who are like, don't do it. And I have no idea necessarily why. I can make up stories, but I can feel that it's coming like totally from within. There's no external, like, this isn't the right time or anything like that. Everything is fine except for.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Let me spit something back at you, what you just told me.
You got it.
You feel like you have all this information pent up in you, and you feel like they would love to know this information, but something immediately claps back saying no, 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 no from that energy. That's a dichotomy in your situation of emotional expressions here. So,
well, it's my effort to share it with you. I'm not sure if I'm getting it through, but I'll listen to you.
Let's hold on a second. Instead of just creating this for a conversation with a person, you need to put it into words. Let me finish. Put it into words on paper and let the energy of your DNA speak through you, volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes, and just let it be written word first until you can change the way the energy reacts from your other sources of stimuli.
It's great to hear you say that. That is so great.
Part of your precognitive workforce knows that this information has a journey of time attached to it.
Absolutely.
If you bring it up before this, and this time, it will be wholesale rejected. If you bring it after this time, it will be tough to digest, but a handful will digest. And
absolutely.
then
no pearls before swine, yeah.
Right. There are other pieces of information that are not time bound, which means you just got to get it out of you first and let your intuition tell you what is a time bound piece and what's not.
Gosh, it's great to hear you say that. That is 100% what right before this meeting, I absolutely just said that to my friend. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just getting it out for me first, and then we'll go from there.
You first, exactly, and then let your intuition tell you if it's time bound or not. Okay, and it doesn't need to be a book, or it doesn't need to be anything. It just needs to be a whole big long bunch of notes and one big master document of stuff that's coming out of you.
Amen. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. To feel so like excited and to be like on a leash.
Yeah, but you don't need to be on a leash if you let that document speak to you, because that document, once you start putting actual writing energy to it, whether it's on the computer or by hand, will actually become alive and speak to you through the document. Literally, it will come alive. It is pre-written in you to write this shit, but something in you is stopping you from writing this shit because something in you wants to speak the shit before you write the shit. You get what I'm saying?
I have made many attempts, that's for sure. Yeah.
What's stopping you?
No, I was joking with you because I've tried to speak it many times to write it, but it is
Yeah.
writing that it needs to be done. Yeah.
Okay, but sometimes you have to speak it out loud to write it. That's
Well, there's definitely moments to get over that hump. Yes.
the
Yes.
voice
Yes.
recorder on your phone is the best thing, and there's plenty of AI auto transcription programs that are out where you could have hours and hours of spoken word that'll instantly transcribe. Okay.
Yeah. What I don't have is the chatbot, large language model that will actually answer my questions about what have I talked about the most.
Don't use those things. They're horribly corrupt.
No. I'm sorry. Again, I don't explain myself perfectly all the time, but what I was trying to say is the chatbot large language model that I designed so that it had only my information so that I could say, what do I talk about the most?
Oh, that's easy. You could do that with the existing technology that's not AI. Once you have a body of work done, it's all keyword searchable, and it'll put a simple algorithm to what's connecting to the other pieces.
Yeah, I love it when other people do that stuff and then say, here, look how easy it was. And I say, awesome, good job.
So what sorts of stuff has come out already?
Um, simple concepts of rules that apply anywhere. You know, your attention is your most valuable asset on this planet. Use it wisely.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah. I mean, mountains, Andrew, mountains.
Give me a sample.
Oh, I mean, okay, so there's kitchen table talk, there's round table talk, and then there's like woo-woo speak. And we are, as the multidimensional creatures that we are, capable of swimming around in all of these, especially with the right people, loved ones, soul family, etc. You're able to actually move in and out of these on the blink, on the fly. That's so cool. Some people, on the other hand, require one flat plane, that one and that one only, and that's all you get to engage with. And if you try and swim around, you're the one who pays the price. So I've learned that's pretty valuable too.
Okay.
Like, don't say woo-woo stuff to people who need to talk about how cute your hair is, that kind of stuff.
Why don't you create a diagram of flat plane people, somewhat multidimensional people, limited people, and then people have an understanding, like a flow chart of challenges of getting multidimensional information to single dimensional people, which will help you organize the information.
That's helpful. I mean, organizing is always helpful, but having, stacks of diagrams, not knowing which one is the most useful, not so helpful.
Well, it's called mind. This is called mind mapping.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I agree, it's very useful, but it seems like useful for that one moment, that one expression of it, and it's not the one that actually, like you said, is all one document, all one place. That's what's really demanding itself to be presented at this point.
Sure, but after a while, once that document takes on life force and starts speaking back to you, it'll expand itself manyfold. Okay, and those.
I feel like I'm working. That was my next question for you. Whenever you're, yeah.
Go.
Well, okay, so I know I've heard you talk about timelines, and I've heard different things in general. I don't play around with listening to many of them, but I do find the concept in general, how do I put this word, helpful, that at least there's a discussion about it. So for instance, like the pre-question I asked before, another pre-question. So if there's a position, let's say beyond time, there's a favorite phrase of mine, beyond time. then that can peer at time, then it would look a lot, to me, it looks a lot like it's a specific geographical spot, and then it's like a calendar map. There's a place for all of the different moments for that spot, right? So that's like an example of seeing from beyond time. But my question is, how does it read? Like, it seems like there's a lot of things that work backwards from
Okay.
from the end to the beginning.
Slow down a second.
That was
So
it.
the term beyond time, that came out of your DNA from an aspect of you that was in Lemuria in about 2,200,000, sorry, Atlantis around 2,200,000 years ago. This is the beyond time now. People couldn't see beyond that 2 million year mark. So that terminology
I follow what you're saying. Yeah.
has now translated to the beyond time, and you're in the beyond time place where the world is not a fourth dimensional or fifth dimensional energy anymore. It's a three-dimensional flat plane reality with limited human consciousness on it, manipulated by a false god and false narrative.
I dare say understood.
Okay, so that term, you're technically misusing it. Here in beyond time space, we use no time to leave Roman numeral time to educate ourselves on the journey of detoxifying Roman numeral time so we can perceive the new beyond time, millions of years in our advance, without the imprint and influence of Roman numeral time degrading our sight into a direction that isn't real.
Okay, well, interesting. I'm not stuck in the negative sense. I'm stuck on purpose, in the like a Abrahamic, if you like, but a creationist to an end slice of time, because it's manageable by whatever amount of people you're saying are consciously aware of it on that third dimensional plane, and so I'm not particularly millions and looking at it that way. I'm looking at it from a perspective of just simply taking a book, and the first part is beginning and the last part is end, for instance, and closing the book, and they're in the same place, that being the beyond time. Does that make any sense?
It does. You'd be better off using something other than beyond time, because there's a tremendous amount of previous life influencing that word and an energy behind it, which will expand it into directions that will just challenge that word. What I'm saying is pick another word.
Well, I use that. That's funny you mentioned it. I use that word specifically because I've been challenged on saying, like in no time. I actually started with no time before I even heard you use it, which is weird, but that's okay. And siblings, really refused, like really didn't like that, like the logical brain kind. And when I said beyond time, it seems like a lot easier on them. But I'm not attached to any word that describes basically looking at time as a calendar map. That's all I'm trying to get at.
Okay, but not all time uses a calendar map.
Well, no, linear time doesn't.
No, there's parts of linear time and nonlinear time, which is a whole nother concept, what nonlinear time is.
Okay, so maybe that's more appropriate to what I'm referring to then?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Better words that will help the creative side of you get more of these teachings out.
Ooh, well, nonlinear time settles in just fine. Yeah, that's just gonna work just like a peach. Yeah.
There you go. Nonlinear time. Use it all you want. Okay. Words are words. Words are free.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. There is no such thing as plagiarism.
Words are free. Okay?
That's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And I have had this in my own challenge of describing the material that comes to me. Words. There are a lot of it doesn't have words. So I got to create those words, and I have to refine those words so that flat linear plane people can get a sample of it, or the different varieties of consciousness that comes to the shows.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
it's
that's
important.
where you're at too. You got to create your own set of words that are descriptive enough to fit the nonlinear time people or the flat plane people or
good news. Good news. I've spent 20 years doing it, and I have absolutely accomplished just that. Yay!
There you go.
That's wonderful. Thank you for your assist.
You're welcome. I gotta let you go. I got one more caller to get to.
Sounds good.
All right, Donald. Thanks a lot for calling. It was a lot of fun talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Bye bye.
Yeah, welcome. All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right, Julie, signal to you unmute.
Julie, are you there? Julie.
Let me try again.
Julie, are you there?
Oh no, not allowing me to unmute. Oh, I've unmuted.
unmuted.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, where are you calling from?
Cambridge in England.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I've never phoned into anything like this before, so I'm a bit nervous. But I'm trying to piece together some puzzles, and one of my questions is how could I find out why just me and my cousin are O rhesus negative and nobody else in the family?
Okay. Tell me a little bit about
another member at all that is. So we were both born in 1970. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. I just don't know how I would find out why we're different.
So tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune
in. Mother of two. What would you like to know? I'm not very good at talking about myself.
You have a career path?
Sorry?
You have a career path?
I used to do facility management and lots of secretarial type of work and PA type of work. But I'm not, I'm just a home ed mum now.
Okay, you're married, divorced?
Split up from their father because he's not very good. But yeah, so I'm single, yeah, at home with the children.
All right. So what was life like growing up as a child?
Well, it was good, but not good. One of your callers the other week itched their head and that put a piece in the puddle as to why my mum used to take me to the doctors for impetigo.
Okay.
Which is, you know, scabs in your head. But I don't do that anymore. But I do pick my spots on my face a lot. But yeah, but otherwise it was a good childhood, really. I had ponies and stuff. But yeah.
So what's your relationship to your cousin?
In what terms?
You said you and her were the only ones that were alike?
Do I get on with her, do you mean?
No, you said at the beginning of the call, you asked why are me and my cousin so alike?
Yeah.
So do you talk
fathers
to her?
are brothers.
Okay. Do you get along with her? Do you talk to her?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I used to get on with her. I used to go out a lot, but I don't actually do anything now. But yeah, I get on with her.
Okay. And you were saying before the difference between you and the family is what?
What do you mean the difference?
You first said you were different from your whole family. How are you different?
Oh, because we've got O rhesus negative blood.
Okay, because you have O negative blood.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because you have O negative blood doesn't mean anything more than any other blood, other than it drives you into the types of karmas you're going to be resolving. O negative blood gives you the potential of high spiritual energy, but it also means you're going to be early on in your life resolving karmas for other, which means you're going to give away a lot of your life force to helping others before you help yourself, which means the martyring energy is going to be very common. If you can get over the martyring energy and truly make your own path, the O negative blood will open up different aspects of the seen and the unseen world, and for forms of magic to be seeded into you that you have to grow with. Also, O negative blood means you can become a universal source of energies to others. And that means others will be seeking you for advice, for wisdom, for change of positions. It means you have an opportunity to be a healer, an energy changer for a system, places, or things. Those are the qualities that are in O negative blood. So B positive, A positive, they also have different qualities that deal with the karmic life journey differently. That's how blood influences our potential past, present, and future.
Right. Okay. So it's got nothing to do with parentage then. How did we get that blood? I don't understand.
So Humans can change blood types from, so let's say you're born to a mother and father and they do a blood test you on as a baby. 6 months later, you could have a different blood type.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It happens all the time. Yes.
Oh, okay, so that helps.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Okay.
when you have a blood type change compared to the other families, it means the plan the fetus made in the womb didn't work out. Something was missing in the reality, and you had to change your core blood type to attract and repel specific types of karmas so you can maintain somewhat of a semblance of a life path as the being you were before you came into the fetus, as the life planning process.
So am I a walk-in then? Or
no, not at all.
Oh.
You just changed your DNA so that the pheromone energy you created would attract and repel styles of karma versus being overwhelmed by the family karma of that blood type.
All right. Okay. So I can detach from the trauma. Do you mean?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you.
Okay. How long have you been listening for?
Oh, about a year or so.
Okay. What are some of the things you learned in the year?
Well, I do want to go rolfing, but I'm worried that I'm going to lash out at the masseur because I just don't like. I think it's PTSD or I don't know, but I just don't like people hurting me. So if I do, then I automatically would lash out. But I do want to try it. But I'm worried about.
These guys are professionals. These are professionals, and they can take a lashing.
Oh, good. Okay. Because once I had stitches in my fingers and it really hurt the needle, and I didn't get the doctor, and I didn't mean to.
They can handle verbal lashing. Okay. It's when you cross the line where some of those verbal lashings are personal attacks. Okay. I can tell you, I told my Rolfus, my God, you have thumbs of steel. What do? Do you practice torturing people with your thumbs? Okay. And he laughs when I do that because it helps me break up the energy of the pain that I'm going through. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. And sometimes just stupid shit comes out of my mouth and he can't help but laugh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to try and give it a go because there is somewhere local.
Yeah. It's a good idea for you to do that.
Yeah. And I fancy a flotation tank as well. Might give that a go. But I can't really actually, I'm really sort of like, I can't get my teeth into anything. I have no sort of specific wants or goals, but I know I should be doing something, but I just either don't have the energy or the concentration or the willpower or lots of things to make myself do something new.
That's a lifelong challenge for you, getting the rocket launched into a position where you can do things.
So I do want to do QHHT, but I need to have a couple of sessions of first for me rather than but yeah, it's really interesting actually because my partner had a burst ulcer in his stomach, and just after the first baby was born, and I phoned a lady that was doing QHHT, and she healed him straight away over the phone before he went to see her. She was brilliant. When he went to the hospital, they couldn't believe that he was actually still alive. But yeah, so that's something that I believe in, and something that I want to do, but it's something that I don't feel that I can do.
It's because you don't have confidence in yourself.
I don't know.
It's because you burned up all your energy giving away your life force to other people.
Yeah, and I don't really look at, I don't.
That's classic type of the O negative, O positive blood, giving away your life force for others and not getting anything in return for it.
Sure. Yeah, and I've actually given up helping now. I used to be very helpful, and now I just really don't speak to many people.
Which means you become an introvert and you don't have anything to recharge your energy batteries.
Yeah.
You don't have a hobby, you don't have fun, things that you could do that recharge your batteries. And this is where you've got to start the engine and just start doing things and putting it on your calendar and forcing yourself to get up off the couch.
I forced myself to take the dog out today, and I'm very proud of myself. And I've cut the grass, so I've had a good day. But yeah, it's sporadic.
You have to do more than walk. You got to do more than just walk the dog.
Sorry.
Okay? You got to do more than just walk the dog.
Yeah, I know. But that's a good start. That's a good start. And I do feel more energized from doing it. But yeah, I don't know how to keep the motion going. Once I get into something, I'll have like energy for a few days, get into it, and then I'm burnt out and I just leave it again.
Because you always quit on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Why do you quit on yourself?
I don't know.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. There'll be some harsh energies. You have no confidence in yourself. You have no faith in yourself. And you've quit on yourself so many times, you quit on the world. And you're waiting like a little princess to be rescued by a knight, and the knight's never going to come, darling.
Well, I thought the knight was the last one, but it was actually really violent. So
no, you got the Black Knight.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
So
I wonder what significance it is, because
let go of the princess being rescued story, and you might be successful in life.
Yeah.
Okay? No one's going to rescue you. No one's going to do it for you. Put on the big pants time. It's a suck it up buttercup moment, and make yourself do it.
Sure. It's just that since this COVID business, if I go near somebody that's vaccinated, I bleed a lot. So I'm really like anti-people. I mean, like in my village, 97.3% of people are vaccinated.
That's a psychosis you created in yourself to avoid people.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I don't know.
Why do you like it?
I just like not sharing myself with anybody because I don't really trust anybody anymore.
But you have no life force to do anything. How is life ever going to be fun for you?
Wow.
Do you not see the twist in this energy that's twisting you?
Yeah.
Do you want to be an old cat lady the rest of your life?
I've got an excuse for everything. I don't know why I can manage to talk myself out of doing absolutely anything.
Sure, because you're a quitter.
Yeah.
So stop quitting.
Sorry. Carry on.
Stop quitting.
Stop what? Quitting? Yeah.
Stop quitting. The thing is, you've quit for so long, you don't even know what success is anymore.
Well, I haven't worked since the children, and you know, you just sort of lose your self-esteem, I suppose.
It's more than that, darling. It's more than that. Okay? You got to start
so hard for people and
yourself first. You've got to start training yourself. You got to have a moment where you are going to quit quitting. Create something for yourself, a pathway out of this despair that you're in, because you are in despair.
Yeah,
you are
I've had enough, really, to be honest.
Okay?
I've had enough, really. I mean, you know that song, Say Something, I'm Giving Up on You. It's like, to me, saying it to myself, because I just want to say something to myself to make myself do something, but I actually really don't know.
Yeah. Well, darling, I got to let you go. I got to move on to the next caller. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie dokie, looking at who's got their hand raised. Sean, Australia, giving you the signal to unmute.
Sean, are you there? Sean, going once.
And try again.
Sean, going twice.
Andrew, how you going?
Good. Where are you calling from in Australia?
Adelaide, South Australia.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I have a question around, I'm thinking of going traveling, I guess, within Australia and overseas, and just wondering where you think may be a good place to maybe visit.
And what is the reason for traveling?
Just a holiday. Yeah. Just, I like getting out in nature, so I just wasn't sure if there's like a particular place that you think would be most beneficial for me.
Do you have a spiritual practice?
I guess I do pray. I've done your revocations in the past.
Do you do them on a regular weekly basis?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And you said this is just a holiday. How long would the holiday be?
It can be as a few weeks. It can be shorter or longer. I've got a lot of annual leave saved up, so yeah, I have time to.
What do you do for a job?
I'm a support worker, and also own a business as well.
What's the business?
Factory. Yeah, own a factory. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you produce at the factory?
Plastic spaces for tiling.
Okay. How many employees are there?
There'd be only a couple, maybe 2, 3.
Okay. And you do all the main management of the company?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been to Japan?
No, I've never, no.
First on your list is Japan.
Okay, sure.
You
Yeah, yeah.
visit the city of Osaka.
Osaka,
That
okay.
is a highly, highly energetic place for you where synchronicities will abound, magic will occur in the weirdest of ways for you. Visiting Osaka, make your journey around there, and then if you can deal with the driving energy there, try to see some of the southern parts and northern parts of the island, which are very different energies. The smaller cities out there, it'll be a magical journey for you. If you want to do like a bus trip, it'll be great for you, but it'll be different if you could find somebody that will be a translator for you or attempt to learn some of the language that's there. The vast majority of the people speak English, but having an understanding of the local population, very beneficial. Second would be South Korea, a very different society than Japan, even though those societies have interwoven. So number 1 and 2 are Japan and Korea. Number 3, this is a toughie. It would be the Middle East, but they're in terrible disorder right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Terrible disorder. Okay. And it would be specifically in Lebanon. There are parts of the rural Lebanon and Turkey area that would just be really fun for you to experience.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. That's really interesting because I was meant to go to Japan, I think before COVID, so it obviously didn't happen.
Make it happen. Obviously, the United States is a great place for you to go and experience things. But the value you will get with your Aussie dollar into where the Japanese yen has dropped tremendously, your Aussie dollar will buy so much more in Japan than it will in America.
Yeah, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, thank you for that.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do a dual trip to Japan and Korea, a week in Japan and a week in Korea.
Yeah, that sounds good. Definitely I'm excited because I need a long holiday. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at booking something for next year. So yeah,
try picking up, one of those language things that you download to your phone and you just start practicing a little bit, just so you have a little attempt, okay? And then go to YouTube and see what's there to do. There are these technology shops in Japan where you can get technology you would never be able to get in Australia for dirt cheap. And there's store after store after store of technology stores that sell super megapixel cameras, computers that would be $10,000 in Australia you'll get for $700. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's
And
interesting.
then there's
Yeah.
the culture, the temples, the mountains, all beautiful places for you to really go and have a really advanced holiday.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, Andrew. The other question I had last time we spoke about I think I told you a dream I had about a volcano, and you were talking about the electricity around the volcano, and it brought up a memory I had when I did ayahuasca, and I remember meeting these beings that were just all electrical energy and not really understanding or comprehending what that experience was. So I was wondering if you may be able to help me out with that.
All right, so beings that are living electricity exist on thousands of worlds across the multiverse.
Yeah.
Electricity is a life force form for many energetic beings to take. And then they could actually have physical bodies like us, like we are bioelectric entities. There's electrical force inside us, melded with the physical form. So when you had this experience, it was trying to show you the purity of another form and the type of experience that that form has versus the bioelectric field that is us. And there's a unique philosophy to how the universe works, how God and spirit work, how the unity works when you experience through it through a raw energetic form such as electricity.
Okay, so he's trying to show me what it's like to be in a different form.
Correct. And that there's a philosophy you can intuit from observing those beings that could translate into our reality, that could help others in their dream space turn into electrical entities and have that as an actual real experience from the dream world.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. I think I'm gonna have to re-listen to this, and it will make more sense to me. Yeah. Okay.
I can tell you when you get to Japan and Korea, you will see electrical beings in physical bodies.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
You'll recognize it right away.
All right. This will be fascinating. The last question I had was I've been getting this eye flickering thing, like it's like pressure on my eyes and it's flickering, and I'm really not sure what this is. Yeah, and wondering if you could help me with that.
Give me a better description of what it's like. Is it like your eye twitch in the corner? Is it your eyeball moving? Is it your eyelashes or your eyelids?
It feels like pressure on my eyeballs. And when I've spoken to another shaman, he told me that your eyeballs are your softest part of your body. So I'm just sensing the change in energy around me. So I'm not sure
there's a lot of truth to that. All right. Do you have any dry eye when you sleep?
Not when I sleep, no. I've noticed maybe the last few days they maybe are feeling a little bit dry, but it's not like I'm noticing it that much, if that makes sense.
Okay, when you wake up in the morning, do you have regular nuggets in the corner of your eye?
Yeah.
Or dry stuff that come out a lot?
Only a little bit. I wouldn't say it's overly a lot, but there is a little bit, yeah.
Is it there just about every day?
Yeah, I'd say nearly every day, yeah.
All right, so what that's saying is your eyes can see this layer of fabric of reality, but for some reason the actual eyes are taking energy from your third eye and changing the vibratory concept of the pupil and allowing it to glance into other realms while you're asleep. So that means when you are in rapid eye movement in sleep, you are observing dozens of dreaming realms. And this is beginning to bleed over from your dream realm into your physical realm, which means a form of sight that's about to grow inside you. More than just intuition, a third eye to eyeball connection, meaning you will be able to see into other layers of reality if you can go through the journey of trusting in spirit sight, having a grounding energy so you don't fall into fear if you see something you don't like.
Yeah, because this has been happening already. So I have these experiences have been happening, and yeah, I've been seeing things that maybe I shouldn't see, or able to. People tell me things that I think they are thinking in their mind, or that I'm not meant to know.
You see the thought, not
Yes,
necessarily the subject matter, which can be very challenging to you. Again, your sight is amplifying beyond the layer of our visible realm.
Oh, this makes sense. This makes me feel a lot better, because yeah, I've been having those experiences where I see what they're thinking, but I know that it's not. They're not telling me in this reality. They're just thinking it, but I'm experiencing them telling me.
But you're seeing it through your eyes and not your ears.
Yes, correct.
You're
Yes.
you're literally hearing it through your eyes.
Yes. Yes. This makes sense.
Okay.
And it's been really hard, because like I have no one to really comprehend this or talk to this about. I'm like, this is really weird, and I know that I'm not making this up, and that yeah, I'm hearing with my eyes, which is real. Yeah, thank you for this, because this I can now word it that makes sense maybe to other people.
You can hear with your eyes. So my piece of advice for you is go on Amazon and find a microscope that you can get. Okay. You will help train your eyes and hearing by using a microscope. Okay. You can grab all sorts of things to put under the microscope, from little crystal chips, rocks, everything. And let your eyes train with the microscope, and then get a telescope. So microscope and telescope to start training your eyes to hear micro, macro. And that will help you cycle through the different realms of observation by having your physical eyes tuning in to a microscope. Also get a set of binoculars, okay? And regularly start observing the areas and spaces, and let your eyes bond with these devices. It will expand your ability and simplify some of the experiences coming through you.
Oh, this is so fascinating. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, yeah, definitely gonna do that. But will it have something to do with, because when I was a kid, I had fluid in my ears, so I was deaf for quite a few years until they worked out what was going on. So would that explain why my eyes are more sensitive?
Yes,
because
100%.
Okay.
And in fact, the undiagnosed energy forced your eyes to genetically change into the advanced eyes that they are today. And then there's another genetic advancement when your consciousness come to terms with the change and doesn't limit your sight out of fear.
Yeah, because I think there is that level of fear that
soon you will be able to smell with your eyes in deeply from remote areas.
Because once I can smell sometimes in my dreams as well. Is that part of that? I found that really.
That's the beginning of that next layer. Yes.
All right. Okay, so it's all about.
So something that you can do to aid your sense of smell is go and buy like a starter kit of a bunch of essential oils. It should be like $60 and you'll get like 30 cents. And every day try to smell 5 or 6.
Okay.
But close your eyes and let your scent create vision. Because eventually your smell and your eyes are going to be one sight.
Okay.
With hearing. That's called a master clairvoyant. which is where you're heading towards it. You could do clairescience, clairaudience, clairvoyancy simultaneously and individually.
Okay. Because that, yeah, other experience that I had when I was on the ayahuasca, I could hear the creek running from like a kilometer away. I can hear things in the far distance.
Because of you being born deaf, and your ears regenerating, and then the love that came to you as your parents going, my child achieving normalcy again, and that advanced love expanding your ears to be ultra sensitive to unique distant frequencies.
Okay. All right, so that's something I need to, because like, what do I do with, like, what's the purpose of doing with all of this? Is it just to have
Eventually things like remote viewing, remote sensing, remote experiencing will become natural for you. And you got to learn the coping skills of it randomly taking over, or you initializing it on a regular basis as a part of your advancing spiritual journey of breaking and busting potential fears to see that the unseen world is not full of fear, it's full of joy and wonder.
Okay.
And that you will see beings and places and spaces that want to invite you because they can sense your vision and they will invite you to their realms.
Because I have been when I've been dreaming, sometimes it feels like I'm not actually asleep. I'm viewing somewhere, and then wherever I'm viewing, sometimes the beings there don't like me and they push me back. But I'm not consciously trying to do this, it just happens.
You're being nosy in the dream and they're saying, hey, I'm changing clothes here, don't watch me. Okay? That's a metaphor. It goes back to the rapid eye movement. Okay? You're going through a great change. It would probably be a good idea for you to go get one of those velvet face masks. You know what I'm talking about? Sleeping masks.
Oh, yes. I like an eye mask.
A nice velvet one. A lot of times they have little scent packs that you can put into them. That will help relax some of that over rapid eye movement, which is causing the dream to be too real and you not getting sleep.
Okay, all right.
Okay, as well as getting one of those pillows that can align your neck straight. Some of your body position when you're asleep makes you go deeper into the dream space than your actual natural sleep pattern. So pillows are important for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, how many pillows do you normally sleep on?
I just have the one, but it could be the fact that because I'm also a support worker, I sometimes sleep at random houses. So that's part of my role. So sometimes I have quite bizarre dreams when I'm not at home, when I'm at work.
So spend some money and get some more pillows.
Okay, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Don't be cheap on pillows.
Okay. All right.
Some combinations of hard ones and soft ones. You can look for something called a buckwheat pillow. That can help absorb some of the excess heat, and it's form-fitting to your head.
Okay, I've never heard of that. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all that's on Amazon. Pillows. You'd be surprised how advanced pillow technology is today.
Yeah, I have like the memory foam ones, but I have different sizes.
I don't like the memory foam ones.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe I just need to.
That's me. You just need to explore with the pillows. That's what it is.
Explore with the pillows and just see how I go. Okay.
Yeah. You might end up being a 4-pillow person. Too hard, too soft.
Okay. So just rotate. I'll just see what I feel like. Okay.
Yeah.
And with this eye flickering, sometimes it happens again.
Right. So whenever there's high amounts of solar flares, expect it to get very challenging. Like today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, heavy solar flares are coming in.
Yeah. Okay.
So be a good thing for you to go to spaceweather.com and sign up for the notifications that tells you when the solar flares are coming in. Also, high solar winds will affect you. Especially earthquakes, even though they may be several hundred miles away from you, they too will affect the energetic you.
Okay. But is it? I'm excited about the solar flares. Is that, even though I know it's going to be?
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. I encourage people to do their best spiritual work during a solar flare.
Okay.
Okay? I very much encourage that. And it would be a good idea for you to pick up prayer and spiritual practice on a daily basis. Try 5 days a week, 15 minutes a day, and get yourself on the cycle that in 20 days a month, you've done some work instead of 6 days a month. It will make a huge difference into all the things that are going on with your eyes, and will help it advance faster with more unique experiences and less challenges that you're facing, because you're regularly raising your frequency, healing your body, mind, and spirit, and helping genetic changes go forward instead of hindering them.
And how do I go? Because, like, obviously, I think my face looks a bit odd when I'm experiencing these eye flicker and things. How do I guess, explain this to someone who's not?
Don't explain it to anybody. Stop
Okay.
explaining. Stop having the need to explain it to anybody. Just say, I have an eye condition. That's it. And if they ask what it is, I have allergies. I have a special eye allergy to something. Okay?
So they're not going to be receptive or open to comprehension of what's going
They're
on.
not going to. They're just not going to be.
Okay.
Okay?
So that makes sense. Okay. Oh, well, thank you for the chat, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Well,
And
good talking to you. And have fun working with the microscope, the telescope, and the binoculars.
yeah,
And you may even want to get yourself a set of night vision goggles too. They're really cheap now. They're under $200, whereas full infrared sight, thermal sight.
Well, that's cool. Oh, you give me lots of things to work on. All right, cool. Thank you, Andrew, and I hope you have a good weekend.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Have a great day. Good talking to you again.
You too. No worries. Bye.
All right, Joel, let's call it an end to today's show. We had a bunch of really fabulous callers. I'm going to remind everybody, our live event in October in Oregon, tickets are on now, sale now for the 2-day event side of it. It will be Saturday and Sunday, October 26th and the 27th. And those tickets are available for $600 now. And also, we will be having a 2-day event afterwards for those that want to be able to stay longer. That too. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. Also, last day to sign up for the mentorship. We've got payment plans available. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for our next